bags. Hey gang, I'm Dr. Who. This is Accounting is a Joke, where accounting makes sense so you can make dollars. Today we're going to take a look at a walkthrough problem on how to properly record journal entries based on the average cost method. So if you're unfamiliar to the average cost, don't fret gang, I'll drop a link to get you up to speed with no time. With that being said, let's get it. So it tells us that Boston Cycle started October with 12 bicycles that cost $40 each. On October 16, Boston purchased 40 bicycles at $68 each. On October 31st, Boston sold 34 bicycles for $100 each. They want us to prepare Boston Cycle's perpetual inventory record, assuming a company uses the weighted average costing method, i.e. average cost. And they want us to journalize the October 16th purchase as well as the October 31st sale of merchandise inventory. So here's the deal, gang. We're dealing with inventory, and inventory has costing methods which will dictate the cost of the units that were sold that will be reported on the income statement as the cost of goods sold. Likewise, they will also give you the cost of the units that you didn't sell, i.e. the ending inventory that will be reported on the balance sheet. And so this particular method, the average cost, is a slippery snake. One of the hardest methods, in my opinion, of the others.
Why?
Because you have to constantly calculate the average cost of goods available after every purchase. But let me share an example to kind of clear things. Let's say you go to the store and you purchase some candy. You bought a pack of Annihilators for 20 cents. You bought a pack of Jolly Ranchers for 10 cents. What's the average cost of those 2 packs of candy? Obviously, we know this game. We've been buying candy since we're like 4 years old, right? 15 cents. But how did we come up with the 15 cents average cost? Easy, gang. We added up the total cost of the candy that we purchased, and we divided it by the number of units of candy. Remember, we bought one candy for 20 cents, we bought another candy for 10, and that's 2 units divided into the total cost of the 30. That's how we got the 15, right? Easy breezy. We're going to carry that same energy with this problem. The same formula will apply after every purchase. And in terms of the recording aspect, we're utilizing a perpetual inventory system. And under the perpetual inventory system, we automatically adjust inventory after every purchase and every sale. So let's get to it. They want us to prepare Boston Cycle's perpetual inventory record, assuming the company uses average cost. So they're going to provide us with this table that they want us to fill out. And as we can see, the table is broken down into 3 major columns. We have the purchase column, the cost of goods sold column, and the inventory on hand, i.e. ending inventory. And so we're going to fill this out as the transactions occur, starting with October 1st. So what happened on October 1st? October 1st was the beginning of the period. And based on the description of this problem, it said explicitly that we begin October with 12 bicycles that cost $42 each. Therefore, that will equate to our inventory available or our inventory on hand. So we're simply going to input that amount. 12 is going to be the quantity. $42 will be the unit cost. And obviously, gain our total cost is simply just multiplying the 2 numbers together. So that should give us a total unit cost for those 12 units of $504. We're going to check the answer. Nice work, gang. Moving on. Now we're going to account for the October 16th purchase of 40 bicycles at $68. So, in terms of that particular amount, we just have to simply carry forward the numbers. We know that we made a purchase of 40 bicycles at $68 each, which would give us a total cost of $27.20, gang. No units were sold, so we're going to ignore the cost of goods sold column and focus on our new inventory on hand. Now, we already understand that we started out with some beginning inventory, 12 units to be exact. And on the 16th, we made a purchase of 40 additional units. So now our inventory on hand has grown, gang. So we have to account for them as such. But since we're utilizing the weighted average method, we must calculate the average cost of the available units we have. And how many available units we have? We started out with 12. We made a purchase of 40 additional units. So that gives us 52 available units. Now, how are we going to calculate that average cost? Easy, gang, just like those pieces of candy. We're going to calculate our total cost of goods available, then divide it by the units available. So, gang, we already know our units available. Our units available are the 42 units. But we need to find the total cost of those 42 units. So how are we going to do that? Easy. We're going to take 12 times 42, which gives us $504. And then we're going to add the 40 times 68, which gives us $27.20. When we add the total cost of that, our amount should be $32.24. Once we divide that into 52 units, we've now calculated the average cost of $62. Therefore, our 52 units will have an average cost of $62. If we multiply that out, that will give us a total cost of $32.24, gang. We're going to check the answer. Nice work. Now we have to account for the October 31st sale, gang. So we know that we sold 35 bicycles at $100 each. But please do not utilize the $100 in terms of calculating your cost. Why? Because that $100 represents the revenue earned. That's the selling price. Right now, we're trying to determine the cost of the inventory that we sold and the cost of the inventory that we didn't sell. So we know that we've sold 34 units, and we've just finished calculating the average cost of those 34 units, which is $62. So we're going to just input that information. 34 units at the average cost of $62, and that will give us a total cost of goods sold of $2,108. Now we have to account for our inventory on hand, our inventory remaining. Gang, we started out with 52 units with an average cost of $62. We just finished selling 34 of them. So how many units do we have left? Subtract the 2. Obviously, we have 18 units left at an average cost of $62, which will give us a total cost of goods we have left in ending inventory of $11,116. We're going to check the answer. Excellent job. And last but not least, let's summarize the totals for the columns. So we have 40 units with a total cost of $27.20, and we sold 34 units with a total cost of $2,108. Therefore, we have in ending inventory 18 units left with a total cost of $1,116. We're going to check the answer. Moving on. So now we have to account for the purchases that was made on October 16th. And we already know, gang, when we have a purchase, we debit inventory and credit accounts payable. And we also know how much the initial purchase cost us, gang, $27.20. We're going to check the answer. Excellent job. Next, they want us to record the October 31st sale of 34 units at $100 each. Now, gang, as I previously mentioned, that $100 is going to represent the amount that was earned for revenue. Why? Because that's the selling price. Now, when we're dealing with inventory, we always have two transactions to account for: the revenue and the cost of goods sold. Remember, gang, inventory is an asset, and the minute that it's sold, an expense is created, and that expense is called the cost of goods sold. So in terms of recording the revenue, we're going to debit accounts receivable and credit sales revenue for the sales price, the $100 times 34 units, which gives us a total of $3,400. We're going to check the answer. Beautiful work. But we're not finished, gang. We have to recognize that expense for selling that particular asset inventory. And so how are we going to do that? We're going to debit cost of goods sold and adjust our inventory by credit for the amount that was previously calculated, the $2,108. So there you have it, gang. a quick, easy illustration of how to properly journalize by using the average cost method. Although it's a doozy, I felt those brain neurons firing as you watch this video. So you know what I need you to do? Hit the like button, smash the subscribe button, and share the channel with your friends so they can chase the bag as well. As always, gang, I'm Dr. Who, and it's my humble pleasure to have you share your time with me, and I'll see you soon. Bags!